I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Deion Sanders, Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter, Xavier Weaver, what's the other boy? Jimmy Horn Jr. All of them guys. Colorado football might be the most exciting show in college football right now. They might be the best show in college football. So yesterday we had the Colorado Buffaloes defeat the Nebraska Cornhuskers by a score of 36-14. Y'all, this win probably was more impressive than the first one against TCU. Now, while TCU was ranked number 17 and they won the national championship game last year, to see the start that the Colorado got off to, they did not look good at all offensively to start the game. They were flustered. They were on Shador Sanders. They was on his ass for really all game. But that first half, they were trying to keep him stagnant. They were containing him well, right? And for your offense to play like that in the first half, but to come out the second half and bust the game open like this, that's when you know your team is built up. They got the right moxie about them. They have resiliency all across the board about them. Shador, y'all, like for real, like I was a fan of Shador when he was at Jackson State. Like even when I didn't like how Deion left Jackson, I criticized him for the way he left, right? I was still rooting for Shador because I feel like the young man was a really special kid, special quarterback. But for real, he putting up better numbers against the Power 5 programs than he did in the SWAC. He ain't never thrown for 500 yards against a SWAC team. He's never done that, right? He out here putting up video game numbers on these Power 5 schools and showing that he's really is legit. You know, the brother put up 393 yards, almost had 400 yards, while still getting sacked 7 times. For real. Now, again, he going to have to learn, okay, when sometimes they got you beat, okay? Don't take that sack all the time. You can't keep taking them sacks. You put your team in bad position when they by the goal line, put them in bad position, holding on to the ball. You know what I mean? And you letting yourself get sacked. Okay, but I love the young brother's poise. Like for real, his ability to improvise and stuff. Like he was looking on a 2-point conversion, out there looking like Patrick Mahomes, man. And the young brother, they nearly got the 2-point conversion, but it still looked so impressive. I couldn't do nothing but clap. Like he still looked magical in that. Then rolling left to Travis Hunter. Rolling left, like, boy, that was a crazy pass in that first half, man. Shador, man, you give him time to throw, because the crazy thing about it is the offensive line really not that good. They okay. They all right. They was below average, a little below average, a little tick below average yesterday. And yet he still put up phenomenal numbers. Can you imagine him playing behind Alabama's offensive line? What? And that's what I'm saying. Prime still coach, like Deion Sanders still hasn't gotten like all of the guys he probably wanted to get. He hasn't gotten a whole bunch of 5-star, a whole bunch of 4-star guys in there the way Alabama would get yet. But best believe it's coming though. It's coming. The bravado, the mantra, the resiliency, the swagger, the charisma, all throughout the team is contagious. It starts from Deion Sanders, then it trickles down to his son. Then it trickles down to the rest of the team. They're playing with this belief they can beat anybody that steps in front of them. Right? And I know y'all gonna say it's Nebraska. Nebraska defense was crazy. And they still withstood that firestorm and balled out. I'm gonna say this too, man. Xavier Weaver, like, young man out there, what is it, graduate transfer from South Florida, I believe, from University of South Florida, looked phenomenal. Travis Hunter had 73 yards, not a big breakout game, but he's still special. Jimmy Horn Jr., 64 yards receiving. He was really trying to, but his favorite target was Xavier Weaver was just money. He was money. After the catch, he was money, all of that. You know, and defensively, they stepped up a lot better this game. A lot better. Forcing takeaways. They look good, man. And again, they're only going to improve, I think, as the season goes on. Can Shador Sanders be a Heisman winner? I think it all depends on how he looks against Oregon and against USC. How he looks against those teams, and if he secures at least one of those wins, preferably the USC win, right? I mean, hopefully, you know, he can get both of them for sure. But USC, I don't think they got great defense at USC like that. So hopefully, how he looks in those games, I think will be a determining factor if he gets the Heisman. If they get to 9 wins and he balls out against those teams and he continues to play at this type of pace, he can get that damn Heisman for sure. Especially if unless Caleb Williams keep throwing, unless he just throw for 500 yards, 400 yards every week, looking like Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, man, they are exciting to watch, man. Even in the first game, they had 4 receivers with 100 yards. Shedeur, again, he looks so poised in the pocket, y'all. He's patient, taking what the defense give him. He doesn't look rattled in the big lights. Honestly, people may feel like Prime put a big target on his back from the way he talks. But Shedeur is so confident in his abilities, and he's standing by his father so much, he say, we got to play like this to back my father up. Because he knows that a lot of the old guard in college football don't like the way Deion's bravado is. See, that bravado is often welcomed and it's accepted in the SWAC. Now, he got into it with Eddie Robinson Jr. at Alabama State. But for the most part, that bravado is welcome in the SWAC because SWAC players and coaches, they just going to talk mess back. They going to talk shit back. A lot of the other schools, they try to keep it buttoned up. They try to be real ultra professional, try to keep it real, I'm just really astute and I'm just really business and all, no fun and games, no nothing. I'm just trying to keep it all buttoned up. Prime isn't a buttoned up type of individual. And so it's rubbing a lot of the old guard in college football the wrong way. I'm going to say this, man. It's a lot of people who love it. A lot of them young kids looking at Deion Sanders and the way his team has fun. They look like they're out there having fun together. Seriously, and that's important in college football. They're playing well together. They've only known each other for about 5-6 months now. Nah, a little bit longer than that. They was there in December. Some of them dudes came in late. They've been knowing each other since what? December, January, February-ish, around that time maybe. Like February-ish. Something like that, maybe. And look at the bond they got. They playing for each other. Football is all about camaraderie. If guys they're not moving as a cohesive unit, in basketball, you can get away with guys sometimes being individualist. Not all the way. They got to be team chemistry for them to win. But you really need it in football. You really need it in football. Like, these 2 wins have been, that's magnificent for them. Like, they were 20-point underdogs coming into that game against TCU. Look what they did. And I criticized Deion Sanders for leaving not leaving the HBCU, because I did not. I criticized him for the way he left and how I feel like he came across in the championship game, not really celebrating with the kids, hurry up, getting the hell up out of there, ready to run to Colorado to kiss babies and shake hands and so on and so forth. I really didn't like a lot of how he handled his departure. I was fine with him taking and getting that bread because I would have took the money too, honestly. Go ahead and get your paper. And he got other black coaches paid, like I said before. Even the coach at my alma mater, former coach Vincent Dancy, is now an analyst for the Colorado Buffaloes. And he got Coach Dancy, a guy from Mississippi, one of the poorest states in the country. Got him some big-time bread and some paper for real, which is excellent, right? I criticize how Deion left, but I see the vision for his boy. He's trying to get his son to the league. Trying to get his other added son, Travis Hunter, to the league. He's trying to get a lot of these boys league looks. And he knows that no matter what his son probably did in the SWAC, they were always going to discredit it. They were not going to look at it as legitimate because they feel like he's not going against Power 5 schools. And, I always hate that mantra that they have, this stickler that they have against these HBCU schools, because they'll give a guy and they've given guys from FCS, from HBCUs, they give them a chance. They've given them a chance previously. What's my boy named? Tavares Jackson in 06, 05. What was it? 05, 06 from Alabama State. You had Steve McNair from Alcorn State. And then, the other years previously, Donald Driver from Alcorn. In other years, you had all of the legends pre-2000 came from the HBCUs, right? But they've gone away from it, right? And I hate that. But it really is. They really judge these players if they playing against. No, I'm gonna say this is what I wanted to say. They be letting Carson Wentz and them get drafted high and all of that. They be letting Trey Lance and them get drafted high. But got all the questions about guys at the HBCU levels. All the questions in the world about them. And it's a lot of kids at the HBCU level in the SWAC that can really play football. They just not given the opportunity to showcase it on a regular basis. And they're not, they take their film with a grain of salt compared to other guys, even in FCS. You know, they discredit them a lot. You know what I mean? And that's something I really don't like. And a lot of times they really just be stuck on names. But Deion Sanders knew this, so he wanted to put his son on the even playing field, I believe. And he wanted to get the bread, too. He wanted to get that money. He got some other people paid, but I feel like he really wanted to present Shedeur to the public in a way where they couldn't deny him, where they couldn't make excuses about him not playing against top talent, him not doing it against these guys and those guys and these guys and that guy. And now Deion Sanders say, okay, we're at the Power 5. He putting up these numbers. What you got to say now? And again, I just love Shedeur Sanders' makeup all in all, man. He's confident. He's not easily rattled. He has what they say, je ne sais quoi, the moxie. He has the it factor that a team needs to get over the hump. Now, I want to see how they play going forward. How they play against USC and Oregon will tell me if they have a chance of being like a TCU 2.0. Even if not, if they win 8 or 9 games, they've already surpassed the win total from last season, so it's a win. They're making Boulder, Colorado a lot of money because they're selling out games, the school. People talking about them every day on TV like they're the LA Lakers, like they're the Dallas Cowboys, like they're Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. They're getting talked about all the time. You know, like they Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, because they're a prolific show. And I believe that a lot of America is rooting for them because a lot of people, a lot of the traditionalists are against everything that Deion Sanders stands for and how he's implemented his way of life, his philosophies within this team. Deion is an unconventional guy. He doesn't do everything the way the old guard does. He doesn't do things strictly by the book. I mean, not by the book. He doesn't cheat or anything. So I shouldn't say by the book. He doesn't do everything with the old school, just traditional. Everything is going to be stoic. Everything is going to be, he doesn't do the act like you've been there before type of thing all the time. He encourages guys to celebrate. He encourages players to be happy. He lets a lot of players be themselves in a lot of ways. Some people don't like that. He talks with brashness. He talks with supreme confidence. And certain guys are just used to the Nick Saban, Bill Belichick type of coaches. Bill Belichick, of course, coaches the New England Patriots. But, they're used to coaches with that type of demeanor. Now they're seeing something different. And they don't like it. Furthermore, Deion Sanders is a threat to a lot of the Power 5 coaches because he has a certain cachet and clout that a lot of those other coaches don't have. A lot of these parents love Deion Sanders. They grew up watching him. You got mamas, my mama, your grandmama, your great grandmama, your great auntie, your girlfriend's mama, your girlfriend's grandmama, your girlfriend's sister, your girlfriend's best friend. They know who Deion Sanders is. They don't even watch football. My auntie is talking shit and rooting for Colorado all because she loved Deion Sanders because he had that flair. My auntie don't even watch football. She just know what a megastar Deion Sanders is and what an entertainer he was and how he represented a lot of the hip hop culture. How he represented a lot of the black culture in the inner city communities, even outside the inner city community, because he's from the South. He represented a lot of black culture, not even just inner city communities, in black communities across the country. He represents that. There's a brashness, a bravado, a machismo, a charisma, all the big time words you can think of that a lot of black Americans have. Especially when we playing sports, even outside of sports, hell, and anything competitive. When black folks playing spades, playing Uno, okay? When they playing dominoes, when black folks playing video games, when black folks at goddamn throwing frisbee, playing a little beanbag toss game. There's a certain flair, a certain type of just electricity that comes off a lot of black folks, and Deion Sanders is putting that on display for the world to see unapologetically in the way that maybe the Fab Five did at Michigan, even though he predated the Fab Five. Okay, Fab Five got a lot of stuff from Deion, right? And he's always been this guy, the Jerry the Flash. You remember we had the Jerry curl. It was wet, but it looked wet, but it was dry. He had all the Jerry on him. He was a showman. He's still a showman as a coach. And he's encouraging his team to have personality, something that is deterred by a lot of coaches in college football because it's a game of seriousness, because a lot of coaches want their guys to be a reflection of them because they don't want to be too brash and have too much bravado because they're scared of getting fired if things don't go their way. Deion isn't worried about things not going his way. I believe he thinks that he can have his way in college football. And so far, it looks like he's having it. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.